Hello my friends, welcome to another episode of our lonely hardcore survival. My name is Lone Houses. We were only able to make a few. Let me sleep real quick. Nice. So today I would like to work on this village as much as possible and see how far we can build this, with the resources that we have of course. So with some red terracotta, some spruce and some granite, let's start raising this house right here. Working on a nice little floor, with spruce of course, a cute little entrance, there we go. And of course I wanna get rid of this cobblestone as well. And replace it with red terracotta. And of course I'm gonna do the same thing with this dirt. Much better. Oh, and by the way, if you haven't yet seen the last episode, I would highly recommend giving it a watch. And don't worry, I'm not going anywhere. So give it a quick watch so you can get up to speed. And then we can continue building this thing together. Awesome, now let's make a nice little roof, with a staircase to access it. There we go. And some polished granite to keep the visual consistency. And I think that for every roof after this one, instead of going with this granite design, I'm gonna try to do something simple but unique for every single house, keeping the same top color to really emphasize all of the colors of the city. Now we can add some windows, with fences, a fence gate on top, some trapdoors or shutters, and an upside down spruce stair at the bottom. Alright, beautiful. And now all I'm missing is some light on the roof, some much needed decoration at the bottom, using bricks to texture the walls, and just like that we completed yet another house. And because building it up, raising the walls, working on this base, adding a nice floor, and a door with a little bit of texture, some windows, with some leaves, a nice little roof, and now this house is also completely done. Let's see if we can find another red house somewhere. Oh yes, right here. Alright, let's speed run through this. Walls, floor, windows, and finally roof. So we can instead grab the orange terracotta and keep on building, starting with this cute little house right here. With the walls, the floor, some windows, with a nice little roof, and this orange house is also completely done. And as I was building this, I noticed a couple friends off in the distance right here, and it gave me a little idea. Since a very long time, many of the comments on my episodes tell me that I should be getting a totem. And despite almost having reached day 2500, I have never fought a single raid. So what do you say we make this episode the episode where we finally get a totem? Let me quickly put back the items that I don't need right here. Awesome. And now instead of taking care of those little friends right here, because I really don't want a raid to be happening anywhere near our village, I think we should make our way over the spruce forest, where a couple episodes ago we found a very nice pillager outpost. But before getting Bad Omen, if we make our way over here, we can see there's another nice little village on these hills. So oh, and I just realized, because I really want this totem, I should probably go ahead and trap one of these villagers inside their own house, in a little hole, so I don't have to worry about ever losing this raid. And let's put a stair right here so this guy doesn't stay there forever. Well, back to looking for that pillager captain. Alright, there it is. Now if we go to get Bad Omen, and all we have to do to start this raid is simply fly over to this village. Wow my friends, I'm so nervous right now, because I've never done a raid in Minecraft Hardcore, but I guess it's the first time for everything. So slowly but surely... there we go. Let's get our second skin and our Evil's lair, and of course I don't wanna forget about our bow and arrow, and now the raid has begun. First wave done and off to the second wave. There it is. And I also wanna do my best to keep my hunger all the way to full. And now the third wave is about to begin. Let's see if I can quickly sleep the night, to make sure we're not fighting pillagers and mobs, and now we can keep going. The Ravager is down. Goes the next wave, and I'm very happy that we brought a ton of food with us, because his poison lasts for a very long time. And this is by far the most complicated wave yet. And I think all that's missing is this evoker. Let's see if we can get rid of it. There we go. Now just gotta get rid of these vexes. And finally grab our first totem. And although I would say mission accomplished, this raid is far from over. Here goes another evoker. And another totem, which you can finally put inside our offhand. And oh my god my friends, it's full of vexes around here. And another wave was spawned. And very conveniently there's an evoker and a ravager, which I must say is quite scary. And we're getting very low health, not to fear, let's just recuperate the health and then keep fighting. First Ravager down, and second Ravager down as well. And I think there's a Vex somewhere with a Fire Aspect Sword. We finally got our third Totem of Undying, and about to get our fourth. Oh yes, my friends! And just like that, the night. Now let's pick up all of the loot, including an extra Totem of Undying, equip our Elytra, put the things that we do not need back inside the Ender chest, grab some more rockets and some more food, and before I completely forget, free our little friend from his hole. There you go, buddy. You can come out now. Oh yes! Now let's take advantage of the zero of the village by making our way back home, inside of our giant trading hall, first of all collecting the and drop some of these items. And I really wonder how long it's gonna take for these villagers to give us some items. Oh yes, my friends, there we go! A ton of redstone and lapis lazuli. Now as they recharge, let's do the same thing with these guys down here. There we go, some handy axes, and I would also like something from these librarians. So let's just wait a little bit right here. Awesome, there we go. Some handy books. Now making my way back up, we can see if these clerics are ready to give us some more items. And I really don't think this is happening. Well, I guess it's pretty awesome. But first we should probably build the raid farm and the pillager outpost farm. Let me know if you would like to see those 3 farms built. Well, I think we've been here long enough. So let's put all of these nice items inside this chest, make our way towards the naming hall, where we can rename one of the totem Lonely Totem, sleep the night, and now put this Lonely Totem inside of our trophy room, right next to the dragon head. And this extra totem should probably go inside our shulker box, and this extra one can probably go inside our house for emergencies. Alright, my friends. This raid was pretty intense, and there were definitely some dangerous moments, but I'm so happy that we finally have a totem. And now before continuing to build this village up, there's another thing that I really wanted to do since a very long time, and that's finally find a mangrove swamp inside our lonely hardcore world, so that I can get a bunch of mud, use this wheat to make packed mud, and use it inside our builds, because I really love the way that it looks. So let's take some steel and some flint to make flint and steel, make our way to the nether, where we can get 10 obsidian, and now over in this direction, let's fly a couple thousand blocks, so we're sure that we're generating new chunks, and then we can explore a little bit for our mangrove forest. There's the portal to the Badlands biome, but I wanna go a little further this time, and I think minus 2000 should work just fine. So let's make our way down, build our nether portal. Wow, my friends, this is not really what I was waiting for, but it's really cool that we spawn directly inside a geode. But I'm afraid we're going to have to break this nether portal, gather all of the obsidian, mark down these coordinates, make our way up, and make our way towards these structures right here. I don't think I'm gonna tackle an ocean monument right now, but I'm really curious to know what's gonna be inside this abandoned nether portal and this drowned temple. Who knows, maybe we're gonna get a trident. And there seems to be another ocean monument right there in the distance, which is pretty cool. Just in case, let's grab the Evil's Lair because of its looting 3 effect, and let's see if there are some nice chests to loot. Here's one. Anything interesting? A buried treasure map, some wheat and some coal. And I'm also gonna grab this sea lantern, but I think that's all. So let's go towards the ruined portal and get some air and see what's inside this chest. More obsidian with a mending shovel, but it's gold so we don't really need it. Some more iron and flint and steel. And some more stuff, but I don't think we need any of this right now. So instead let's make our way back up, where we can travel to the coordinates we wrote down earlier. I think it should be somewhere around here. There it is. So now we can build our way up with stone, build another portal, and make sure that it links correctly. Alright, there we go, amazing. And I can probably use this remaining obsidian to make this portal look much better. Now if we go to make our way back inside, fly towards the nearest island, and look for a mangrove swamp. And I'm gonna increase my render distance to 32, hoping that it's gonna help me find one sooner. And this is a very nice looking village, but still no swamp to be found. But here's an abandoned shipwreck, so let's see what it has to offer. Oh yes, that's awesome, my friends. Quite a lot of nice loot. And here's the buried treasure map. Let's see where they lead us. This one is much closer, and I think it's somewhere around here. Awesome, here we are. Now let's dig all the way down until we find the chest. There it is, my friends. Oh wow, I'll have to get rid of some of the things in my inventory. And now let's keep going forward. Well, here's a nice bamboo jungle, and something tells me we're really getting close. So let's make a quick stop at this ruined portal to get the gold and the obsidian. And check inside this chest. More obsidian, but unfortunately nothing else. So let's keep going forward. Another abandoned nether portal, which you can loot for obsidian. And maybe something else. Oh yes, much more obsidian. And now we can keep going forward. It seems like we have no luck towards this direction, so because our elytra is nearly halfway broken, It's time to pick another direction and go forward. And I'm very happy that I did this, my friends, because finally here's a mangrove swamp. And I was really close to choosing the other direction. And this thing is so massive. So let's take the coordinates of this mangrove swamp. And now we have to make our way back to the nether portal. Also get some more rockets. Finally back in the nether portal. We can go back to the nether. Divide these coordinates by 8. There we go. And I think I'm gonna leave this nether portal right here just in case. And now let's make our way towards these new coordinates. Right here. Now we can build a nether portal. Light it, and see if it connects to the mangrove swamp. Oh yes, my friends, there we go. Now the elytra is quite low, so before collecting a bunch of mud, I wanna go back inside the nether, make my way back home. There we go, just so that I can mend the elytra, and it really shouldn't take long. Also take some more rockets, and finally go back to the mangrove swamp. Through this portal, where we can finally start gathering. Oh yes, my friends, we made quite a mess around here, and this is what we have. Our inventory is practically full of mud, copper and coal, and all of these shulker boxes are full of mud as well, except this one which contains the loot of this adventure. Well, let's pick up our ender chest, make our way out of here, back inside the nether, and now we can make our way back home. Back home, let's put all of this mud inside these chests, except the heart of the sea. Now we can pick all of these shulker boxes back up, put them back inside the ender chest, pick up the ender chest as well, and make our way towards the trophy room, where I want to put this heart of the sea right here next to the totem. And maybe I'm also gonna rename this to Lonely Heart. Alright, there we go. And although I don't think I'm gonna use it right now, let's take some mud, fly towards our massive field, where we can harvest some wheat, and of course plant everything back, so that we can finally make some packed mud right here. And not only add some decoration, but also to mark the spot where we put our first mud bricks in this hardcore world. And this thing right here has been in our war for so long, so let me just put the mud bricks inside this chest, get this sea lantern, get rid of this sign, and finally name this sea lantern Andrea. And of course grab some spruce, make some spruce planks, turn them into spruce trapdoors, so that I can finally cover the water of these fields. So I stop falling inside of them. One field done. And this big field is completely done as well, now just missing this one. And finally all of the water has been covered. And with this done, we can grab some more rockets and make our way back to the nether to mend all of the items, especially these 2 shovels. Awesome, there we go. And before starting to work on this massive Italian village, now that we built a massive bone meal farm hiding behind that clock tower, I would love to create a bunch of small automatic farms to farm things like crops, flowers, glowberries and vines, and everything else. So let me get my redstone shulker box, place it right here, and take advantage of all of these mud bricks. And I think that our first farm should definitely be a glowberry farm. Let's see what we can come up with. And this is the design that I plan to go with. The glowberries in the middle. Now we just need to grab some bone meal, which will go inside these dispensers. And now all we have to do is bone meal the glowberry once, and then keep right clicking on it. And like this we should get a ton of glowberry in no time. There we go, nearly 2 stacks. Next up, I really want a simple automatic crop farm, just in case you need some crops really quick. So once again, I'll see you when I figure something out. Alright, there we go. I got this design from a Shulkercraft video, so Shulkercraft, thank you very much for this awesome tutorial. Although it's very loud, it's very easy to use and it works like a charm. We just have to flick this lever and start planting our crop. And as you can see, this thing is extremely fast. And now I probably want to add some chests to keep the carrots, potatoes, beetroot and wheat. And unfortunately, I do not think that this farm works with beetroot, so let's remove this chest and this one is gonna be a sweet berry farm, so let's fill the dispensers with bone meal and start collecting. This thing too is extremely fast. To show exactly what these farms do. Alright, there we go. Now I want a small farm for all of the tall flowers, so let's go gather them all. Alright, I got 3 of the 4 tall flowers in Minecraft, and if I'm not mistaken, I'm just missing 1, which hopefully we can find somewhere in this forest biome. Finally, there it is. Let's see if it is indeed what we're looking for. Oh yes. Alright my friends, there we go. Now the only thing missing is fill up all of the dispensers with bone meal. So let's go grab some right here. And now we can fill everything up and see if everything works correctly. The sunflower is working like a charm. Now the peony, beautiful. The rose, nice. And finally the lilac. and everything is getting collected inside the chests. And in less than a minute, we got over 1 stack of every single flower. And on the topic of building, the last thing we have to do is make these little farms look much more beautiful. Welcome back my friends. Well, I really like the way that these little farms came out. I think this makes this whole island look much better. And of course each farm is extremely easily accessible. And with these flower farms right here, all we have to do is flick these levers and watch the farms go. And I also added a little back section, just in case we want to fill the dispensers back up. And finally my friends, with all of this done, we can make our way towards Italian village and see how far we can take it before I have to upload this episode. We have a long day ahead of us, so let's sleep the night, wake up completely refreshed, and start building more orange terracotta. And we should probably have a door right here, and we can also improve this interior a little bit. Alright, much better. And now that I'm looking at it, this orange terracotta reminds me a lot of the red sand that we usually find in Badlands biome. So for the sake of adding some more texture, let's make our way over there and grab a little bit of red sand. Alright, 2 shulker boxes and a little bit more inside our inventory should be more than enough. So let's go back home, put all of this red sand inside the chest with a nice little label, and now we can turn some of it into red sandstone, some more into cut red sandstone, and some stairs as well. And now let's see how this hall looks on this house. Oh yes, looking truly beautiful indeed. Now let's see if we can bring up all of these orange houses. But first, a good night's sleep. Alright, every single orange building has been brought up, and the landscape is looking much better already. I really love this little texture that we've added with the red sand, and once all of the buildings are gonna look like this, I'm sure this whole city is gonna look incredible. And of course we're gonna get one step closer to finishing the whole build. Let's put away the items we don't need, and we actually used more than half our red sand, so I'm so happy to have gathered so much. And now we can probably move on to the spruce, and I think we should make our way from the left all the way towards the right. So let's start with this house right here. Ouch. First of all I wanna add some spruce pillars, now we can strip everything, add some windows, change the floor, and add something on the roof. And for this roof I need one block in particular, which hopefully we can find right here. Oh yes, there we go. Let's see if this works. Well, it's definitely extravagant, but I do really like the way that it looks. And now the only thing missing is some greenery and some lights. And just like that, the first orange house is completely done. Just 11 more to go. Well, my friends, let's get building. Onto this diagonal house, let's improve the floor, add a nice door, and this time I wanna go sparingly with the spruce, just like we did on this build right here. So let's try to just use stairs and trapdoors, with some windows, a nice little roof, with some greenery, and some more decoration, greenery, and finally a nice little roof. And we can also call this nice little build at the bottom of the mountain. And you know the drill, so let's speedrun this thing. Floor with some doors, some windows, a nice little trim with a balcony, a cute second floor, and now we can add a nice roof. And with that, also this orange house is completely done. I do love the way the balcony turned out. And now we can move on to this house right here, with the floor, some doors, windows, with whatever this is, some greenery, and I actually need some more coal to make some more. Alright, 1 stack is not much by any means, but it should allow us to make plenty of lanterns for the time being. And wow, this village is really stacks, so let's keep building, because all that's missing is a nice little roof. Awesome, there we're having some water inside this village. Oh yes, there we go, a nice little fountain for this nice little house. Well my friends, we have a couple houses to finish, so what do you say we start a nice little time lapse and find... Welcome back my friends. Wow, this took such a long time, but all of the orange buildings are figured it could serve as some sort of a botanist, so once we're able to populate this village with villagers, we're definitely gonna make all of these buildings much more useful. And this building right here has a very interesting interior that is probably the weirdest shape that I've ever built a house in. This is how it looks like from the top, but I think it came out looking pretty cool, and the astute among you probably realize that there's no path yet on any of the buildings. And if you would like to check this whole village with shaders, I left some nice clips at the end of the video. But with this done, my friends, subscribe, because I post a new hardcore episode every single week. And the second thing is that if you would like to support the channel financially, I left some nice links in this video's description. Alright, back to the naming. Start after them, so I guess we have to find one. Alright, and after a lot of searching, here's an awesome mangrove swamp. I went ahead and connected it to our base through the nether, and now we can look for a frog. I also brought with me a baby zombie for whatever reason. And the second one is right here. I actually think should be despawned right here. So let's tie them to this fence temporarily, get some slime. And this right here is a very beautiful mountain. And back home, we can move on to the next name, which is from my friend Dollar Panda, who has been waiting quite some time for this. So because of this, I would love to name one of these villagers Panda. And there you go, my friend. Welcome to our lonely hardcore world. And my friend Exolotis asked if he could be my pickaxe. But because I already have a name for my pickaxe, I figured I could make another one, name it Exolotis, and place it inside the hanging stable we built in the last episode. So there you go, my friend. And I would also love to give a big shout out to my friend Guilty, who dropped by in last week's episode. He makes awesome Minecraft videos, and if you like the content that I do, chances are you'll love his as well. You should totally go check him out. Next up we have my friend Noobawai, but we can go ahead and put it in a secret spot on our tree farm. There you go, my friend. So my friend, there you go. And I really hope this is a donkey and not a mule. But let me know in the comments if it isn't a donkey. And last but definitely not least, my friend Vonan would like me to name this village. I'm right here at the mob farm, because usually at the bottom, we get a bunch of glow squids. So let's go hunting. 24 should do, so let's go back home, so we can make so happy with the way that this world is looking. It becomes prettier every single week. A huge thank you to everyone who suggested a name in the comments, and a huge thank you as well for watching this episode. I hope you're gonna join me next week, where we're going to work on other incredible things in this lonely, hardcore world. But without any further ado, my friends, I wanna wish you all an incredible day, and I can't wait to see you next week. My name is Lonely, bye bye. I really can't wait to see this finished.